Make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry about the longer than we thought, but in executive session, we spoke about personnel and also security. At this time, I'll open the public portion for anyone wishing to come forward and speak on any agenda items. Name and address.
Andrea Cosaway, and I'm from East Brunswick, New Jersey, and I'm an employee of Insurance. Good morning, Mr. Guido, Mr. Carnes, Board of Education. My name is Andrea Cosaway.
You bring the mic down, so maybe other way.
Please excuse me if I'm not the most eloquent speaker, but I'm a social worker and not a teacher, so public speaking is not really my thing. But I am the crisis counselor or the anti-bullying specialist at Roselle Park High School. And I have been an employee of the district for the last 13 years. It saddens me that I stand here before you with the same plea that I made approximately 6 years ago, to address the calendar, but this time for the year 2018 and 19. I sat at a meeting a few weeks ago where there was representation from all 3 elementary schools, the middle school and the high school, and we discussed the calendar for next year. 5 out of the 7 people present agreed that it would be in the best interest to have off next year the first day of Rosh Hashanah and Wednesday for Yom Kippur. It is our understanding that both Mr. Guido and the board felt the calendar presented was not convenient to the students of Roselle Park, and I do not disagree. As a member of the calendar committee, we would have appreciated it, an opportunity to sit down again at the table and look at what other local districts are doing to again address the needs for the holiday. We are extremely grateful that the calendar does allow us the one day off for Yom Kippur. For that, I'm thankful. Unfortunately, it is still a hardship that we, as a Jewish community, have to use 2 of our 3 personal days in the first month of school, and then we have 1 to use for the purposes as allowed in our contract. It is also an inconvenience for many of our staff who have to take a day off for childcare or pay for childcare. Or even bring their children to school, as many of the local districts are off for that first day of Rosh Hashanah. If we're not willing to look at the calendar again, then we're asking for an allowance for us, so we are not penalized for taking our religious days off. Or, at the negotiating table, we're asking for your support to look at the options presented or identify other solutions so we can resolve this issue once and for all. Unfortunately, a floating holiday is not permitted, and therefore other options must be found. As a community, as a Jewish community, we have 3 high holidays, and we feel that using 1 personal day is fair and reasonable. There are needs for staff for other religious holidays as well that should not be swept under the rug. Mr. Guido, Mr. Carnes, and Board of Education, while the present Jewish community may not reside in Roselle Park, although one was raised in Roselle Park, we are part of your community. We are your teachers, your guidance counselors, your mental health professionals. We have more than just educated your children. We have cared for them, listened to them during the most difficult of times, and celebrated their successes for more than a cumulative 119 years. The first and possibly second full day of school will leave your children without active learning in some classrooms, but with substitute lesson plans for work they have not yet even started. We'll leave 1 building with a new principal and no guidance counselor. You will be down 2 buildings without guidance counselors. You will be down 2, 3, 4 licensed clinical social workers and 4 of your 6 anti-bullying specialists. During a time when there is evidence of how important supportive and mental health services are, and having staff that know your students' concerns, you will be down staff that are aware of those concerns. Again, if it is acceptable, then please allow us for some sort of accommodation so we can take our high holidays without being penalized. Mr. Guido, Mr. Carnes, and Board of Education, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion for agenda items only. was just checking with Council, just to make sure I didn't say the wrong thing. And the board has heard your comments. We can look into certain things. We're not guaranteeing anything, but we heard you, and we can look into other avenues other than the calendar itself. So let them work on it. Let's see what happens. Can't promise you, but we will look into it. Okay? At this time, committee reports. Do I have any committee reports?
Yes, Mr. President, if I may, for the tech committee in your reports, the only report I have is I reached out to Mr. Hyde, and he gave me a timetable of hours that he's available to meet. And I would like to sit down with him initially. As soon as we can, I'll reach out to the committee members, but he gave me the availability of during the week between 5 and 6. So, Mr. Griff, I'll reach out to the tech committee so we can get an initial meeting with him to go over his goals and objectives and how they line up with our board mission statement as well and our technology goals. That's my technology committee report. I would also like to present the finance committee report right now. And the last time we met was on February 12th, 2018, and it was Mr. Garcia, myself, Mr. Burrito, and Mr. Harms, and Ms. Ms. Powers, pardon me, was there, and actually she was in my phone conversation, we were talking, and the board, we need to make a decision right now concerning the STEAM initiative in the high school. And first off, let me start off with good news that Ms. Garcia received official notification from the state that we're approved for the STEAM Wing project. And boys and girls, what that means is they want to take a room and change it into a place where high school students, which will soon be there, can create robots, can create different designs, graphic designs, artistic designs, and make it a really, really neat place to learn. And that's a very poor representation of the STEAM project, but it's an exciting venture that we, as a board, really needs to get done so we can continue to move our high school forward as well as our district forward. So we did get approval from the state, and that's what we voted on last board meeting, and that paperwork went to the state, and it's approved. And now as a board, Ms. Garcia, Mr. Burrito, we need to give them a little direction right now. And Mr. Burke, who's not here right now, he brought up one issue of having a referendum. And so there are basically two ways to go with funding. One is referendum, and that's where people come and vote on it, and we put it out to the public. And another is using some extra state aid that we received last year from the state that was released later on, and we can apply that money towards the STEAM project. But real quick, let me just say, as far as the referendum is concerned, one positive about the referendum is that if it passes, we could be eligible for debt service aid. Sometimes that could be up to 30% maximum from the state that we could receive. A couple of the cons, the negatives about it is the referendum can only be on certain dates. If we have it in November, that wouldn't be of any cost. But if we had it at another date, say in June or April, that would cost the district extra money. Also, the small amount of money that we have, it's approximately $700,000. In the bond world, that's considered a very small amount, and it would be hard to market or find people who would like to invest in that small amount. Also, one other thing is that with the referendum, the project would be delayed. As of now, we are really aggressive with this, and we want to have construction done by mid-September. So the high schoolers of 2018, in the 2018-19 class can reap benefits of it immediately. As far as someone also brought up a lease purchase for facilities upgrade. We cannot do a lease purchase for the construction portion of this phase. However, we could do it for STEAM equipment, but that wouldn't be feasible. And finally, the state aid, basically the state aid, which is using the $408,000 that we got from the state, also using the $250,000 that we have in capital reserve, as well as $37,000 that we have in maintenance reserve, to apply towards the STEAM project, which would give immediate action And then also, we continue with our timeline, which means next up would be, once we give Ms. Garcia direction, then we have the bids in the spring, and then they will start to roll. And by mid-September, we hope to have it completed. So it is a it's a finance committee's recommendation to go with the latter of the use of state aid as opposed to doing a referendum. And I would like to just put that out there as our recommendation, and we'd like the board to support it. Mr. President, how would you like to proceed with this?
I guess the question to you is that, Jennifer, we do not need a vote for this to go forward as a, or just a straw vote to say it's okay to go forward. How is this working out?
Are you asking with respect to another submission to the state or just getting board consensus?
Just consensus to the board to let the architect go out for bids.
Okay, then you can just get a consensus from the board to do that.
Make a motion.
Okay, or we can go with a motion. How about we, thank you, Mr. Cigarella. Let's just do this. Is there anybody not, I'll make it simple, is anybody not in favor of using the particular monies that we have and that the chair of the finance committee has stated? So I'm not hearing anyone saying they're not willing to go with that money. I see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us that says go ahead. I mean, this is the easy way to do it instead of going down there. The board says to Mr. Dorito, let's go out for some bids and let's get this program going. I think it's great. I think this is going to be great for our students. With that said, we are also looking, once this goes, is to move it into the middle school and try to help prepare them to get into the high school doing this. So again, we have plans to go forward. We're not just stopping here. Okay, so thank you, board. I'm definitely in favor of this. Any other committee reports?
Yes, Mr. President. The curriculum committee, as chair of the curriculum committee met last week, Monday, February 12th, and it was myself, Mr. Langang, Mr. Burrito, and Mr. Salvo. And what we discussed was ongoing training support focused on mathematics, with emphasis on supporting the implementation of Envision Math in grades K through 5. Discuss ongoing training to employ the workshop model currently in place for all K-8 literacy instruction into mathematics. Cohort of 10 teachers in grades 2 to 6 participate in the first of 4 full-day sessions focused on math workshop and will be instrumental in developing district expectation for the 2018-2019 school year. Future training dates, February 27th, March 12th, March 27th. This group will shape expectations, adjust curriculum documents, and provide training to staff during the 2018-2019 school year, including new and non-tenured teacher workshops in late August. We also reviewed for our meeting last week recent teacher, administrative, board, and parent input related to tracking / departmentalization at the elementary level. The administrative team is reviewing programs that could be improved through specialization. We are in the process of identifying programs, resources, and roles that can be more effective by focusing on specific content area as opposed to all content areas. The administrative team believes we can provide targeted instruction to students and high-quality support to teachers through specialization in the areas of mathematics and language arts. So that is my report, the things that we discussed from last week's meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Just so the community knows, tonight, as I said, we spoke about security. So what I've done is I've put a 3-person committee together to investigate a lot of things in lieu of what's happened down in Florida. We just had, a month ago, we had the state committee and give us high praises on what we do with our security, and how we don't let people into the building, and how we do a lot of stuff. I've been thinking about it since this incident happened, and I still think we can do more. So I put this committee together. Mr. Signorelli is chair. Mr. Hemingway and Mr. Casino is on the committee. They're going to work due diligence on whatever they need to do, come back with recommendations. I know we can improve. Some things have been implemented already in the high school. So we're getting there. The most important thing that I can say is that we will protect our children. We will protect our children. We need our children to come into school every day feeling safe. That's what we need. Okay, so if some of the parents out there and things happen, sorry. Okay, just think about what we're trying to do for our children. That's all. Okay. With that, the other thing is I would ask the finance committee to set up a meeting. One of the council members is asking. They pay us each year X amount of dollars to run an after-school program at the Signorelli Building. So now they're asking, and I'm not sure why, but they're asking what do they actually get for the money they're spending, and are we doing exactly what we're supposed to do? Kind of insulting that they're asking us what we're doing for our money because they asked us what to do, and they should know what we're doing for them anyhow. But anyhow, I would ask the chair to set up a meeting with the finance chair from the borough, and the finance committee can see what they really want to know. I do have the contract that we have here. We have two programs that we use the Signorelli Building for. We use it for our everyday classrooms. That's a separate contract. They weren't questioning it down. It's like $72,000 that they pay us to run an after-school program. So here's the contract. I have it. I thought maybe somebody might be here questioning that. I was going to try to read some of it. But again, if we set this meeting, I would appreciate that.
Mr. President. Mr. Holmes.
Yes.
Yes. Some of that, the ball's rolling on that, but it is good advice that the finance chair should meet with the facilities committee and then put this together and sit together in the room to see. I guess the mayor and council are just questioning what are we getting for our money and how long is the contract. And there's, I guess, some new folks on council that want to see what's going on. So,
you know, the finance, I mean, we know what the finances are. They pay us $72,000 a year. It's in the budget. I'm not sure what the finance, I don't want to prolong this thing here because I want to get it done. I want to find out because they came to us and asked us several years ago when the Boys Club was charging the borough $150,000 for doing certain things. They dropped it down several years later to $100,000 because they couldn't afford the $150,000. We, as the board, took over and we were running somewhat of the same program that they were doing for $150,000. Then they came back and I think we took out the summer program. We took out the summer program and I think that's, I don't have all the exact details of it, but I think that's where it came down to $72,000. We have not done, to my knowledge, anything different than what we've done for the past umpteen years that we've had this. So again, I think, Mr. Signorelli, it would be just as quick to have the facilities, or whichever one you want to do, finance or facilities, get together.
Between me and Mr. Miller and Mr. Groschel, we'll work out a committee.
Okay.
A meeting, and maybe let the finance stay on just to keep it with the guidelines to the school that maybe just myself as facilities will have some input and be involved. We'll try to get it done.
Okay, just as long as we don't have a quorum.
Okay,
right?
yes.
So, and I thank you for that. I just want to get this off the table so we don't have to constantly worry about them questioning on what we're doing for the $72,000. Okay, enough for me. Next, I will have the principal's report.
Good evening, Mr. Harms, members of the board, Mr. Garrido, students and families. Welcome to Aldine. We're delighted to host you this evening. As always, we've been very busy here at Aldine, so here are just some of the highlights of what's been going on this past month. Students in grades 3, 4, and 5 started their after-school Energized Math program to hone their math skills and get ready for testing in the spring. It's very impressive to see the students working hard at math after school 2 days a week. We had a special delivery in our kindergarten classes last week when we had about 24 baby chicks that were born in incubators. The kindergarten students had a blast charting the life cycle of baby chicks, and all the students in school were excited to go down and catch a glimpse of the babies hatching. February is Black History Month, and our students have been busy reading and writing about famous African Americans, including Ruby Bridges, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jesse Owens, and Rosa Parks. You can see some of their wonderful writing hanging in the hallways. We are celebrating 100 days of school on February 22nd, and Zero the Hero will be here to help the younger students recognize this important day. The Student Council has also organized several activities, including a charity fund drive, where they're hoping to raise $100 by the 100th day of school. We're very proud to announce that our autism program has been awarded a grant that will enable all of our students in the autism program to attend the Broadway production of Aladdin, which is an autism-friendly program. This provides a much-needed opportunity for families with autistic children to participate in the greater community, something that can be very difficult for them to do. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for providing buses for the families to get to New York City, and I want to congratulate Gina Mulholland, our school counselor, our school psychologist, for applying for and receiving this grant. We're practicing the character education trait of excellence in January and February, and we define this with our students as doing their personal best. Students worked with cross-grade buddies to write about ways they can be excellent in school, in the classroom, in the lunchroom, in the playground, and at home. As part of our efforts to reach out to the community, we're currently working with the PTO to secure some volunteers from the Cassano Center. We're looking for senior citizens who might be interested in working our book fair and other volunteer activities. And if you happen to be at Aldine on a Friday, you might catch a glimpse of our student-created t-shirts that everyone's sporting that say, Aldine, the school with a heart. We are very proud that they were designed by 2 second graders and 2 fifth grade students. And finally, we'll be celebrating Read Across America Week, beginning the end of next week. And we're inviting guest readers from the community to come in and read to our students. The Student Council has also planned a week of events, one day celebrating each of Dr. Seuss's one of his books each day. And the Student Council's planned a kickoff assembly where they will be reading to the entire student body. And now, I'm proud to recognize some of our students for their outstanding accomplishments in the arts. Would you like me to go by the order that you have in the agenda? Or?
Yes.
Mrs. Scully, yes.
Yes, okay. The following students are recognized for being selected to the Morris Junior Deutscher Music Festival Chorus. Shiloh Abood, Halabi Mesoria, Brooke Gallo, Hannah Foy, and Angela Leonardis. The following students are recognized for being selected to the Morris Junior Jointure Band Festival. Damian Mazuski, and Camila Castro. The following students are recognized for being selected to have their artwork displayed at the NJ CAC. Richard Luna, Annabelle Villa, and Kylie McCall. We also would like to recognize Richard Luna again. I don't think he's here tonight, but his artwork was selected for the New Jersey Art Educators State Calendar. So they picked artwork from 12 students in the entire state. And we're very proud of Richard. The following students will be recognized for being finalists in the 2018 Youth Art Month Design Contest. Anthony Santiago, Camila Castro, and Mariah Ortega. And the following students had their artwork selected for display in the Union County Youth Art Month exhibit. Liliana Negron, Gracie Booth, and Callan Mahoney. Congratulations to all of you. We're very proud.
Okay, everybody smile pretty.
Three, we're gonna say healthy. 1, 2, 3. One more.
You all right? Everybody got it? One more. Oh, there we go, buddy. Yeah. All right. Congratulations to all for their accomplishments. Aldean's definitely proud of you. So is the community. Thank you. Before I let the students go, the superintendent, Mr. Carino.
Thank you, Mr. Horns. And congratulations, Ms. Scully. Congratulations, students. This is magnificent, all the accomplishments that you doing here at Aldine. And congratulations for coming on the day off. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you. No, they didn't. I do want to comment on a couple of things that Mr. Harms already mentioned. Number one is our STEAM Wing initiative. This started as a dream, and boys and girls' dreams do come true, and this is going to become a reality for the students here at LaSalle Park. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful gift for you as you move on to the middle school and then the high school. So I'm very proud of the district for taking this initiative, this dream, and definitely making it a reality now. So thank you, board. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. The second item is the security issue. And my number one priority in the district is the students' safety, your children's safety. And Mr. Harms is absolutely right. We were definitely commended by the state when they were here for a measure that we have in place. 4 years ago, we put in place a visitors policy that at the time, only a few districts had in the state of New Jersey. And I know it was inconvenient for some parents, but it's definitely keeping our children safe. So once again, yes, we do a great job here with our security and safety, but we can always do better. And I applaud the board for definitely putting together a committee just to work on security measures. And this is something that we think about. As a matter of fact, we have an administrative meeting tomorrow afternoon, and our number one item on that list is security with the administration. So certainly we do take your children's safety very, very seriously. As Ms. Scully mentioned, two big events around the district this month is Black History Month. All of our buildings, all of our schools are celebrating with a plethora of activities, including essay writings, novels, videos, discussions, website research, and we do definitely do a good job in making sure that students know how historical this month is for African Americans. Also, as Ms. Scully mentioned, Read Across America is coming up next week. That's definitely a fun time, especially at the elementary, although middle school and high school certainly do celebrate it as well. And we do have not only guest readers from the school district, but also throughout the community. And it's definitely always something that is fun to do, to read to the little ones. They love to read. And they love to listen to people read to them. And, you know, I've always told, when I was a counselor, Ms. Casadoy, I always told the parents that the greatest gift that you can give your children is 15, 20 minutes of reading a day. Beginning from the time they're born, and then they can read to you. And you can ask them questions about what they've read. And that is the greatest gift that you can give your children. So please encourage reading as we move into Read Across America. The 2018 part testing is around the corner. Mrs. Kallstrom and the principals have finalized the calendars. I know that the information will be sent home either via the website or in your children's backpack, but that will be going on soon. And the biggest change this year with the park is every part of the test will be computerized. The past couple of years, the science portion of the test was paper and pencil. Even that will be on the computer this year. So the entire test will be done on a computer. And this is the biggest change that we have this year. I just wanted to comment. I've been fielding a few questions, quite a few, emails I've received regarding the flu epidemic and what are we doing about it. I just posted a letter on the website. If you didn't see it yet, please read it. It just tells you some of the initiatives, some of the things that we're doing here in the district to keep the children safe and making sure that any germs are not spread. Our custodians, the night custodians, are definitely cleaning a little bit more than they do. They always do a great job keeping the district clean. And we're taking definitely a proactive approach by any heavy traffic areas, doorknobs, desks, any heavy travel areas that children do have a lot of access. We are adding more heavy disinfectant and cleaning solvents to those areas. So, we're trying to maintain the areas as clean and germ-free as possible. Also, on the website, I attached a parent's guide to the flu, so please read it. This is very helpful information. It comes right from the CDC, which is the Control of Disease, the Center for Disease Control, I'm sorry. And they have a lot of great information and really a lot of great suggestions for parents to keep the children healthy during the season. And again, we are monitoring every building every day. We've had some sporadic and higher than usual absences, but that happens in the winter, regardless of the flu epidemic or not. But we certainly are monitoring, and the nurses are doing a great job of sending students home when they present any symptoms. Your job as a parent is, if your child has a fever, please keep them home. Keep them home 24 hours after the fever has succeeded, and make sure that they do not come back to spread any of the germs to other students. So I want to thank you for your support. Stay healthy for the next couple of weeks. Just looking and viewing the weather today, I think spring is around the corner, so we're definitely happy about that. So have a good night, everyone, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yo, you didn't give me a chance to say goodnight. All the young children, you want to go home and do your homework? We're just going to take a 2-minute break so you can go out. All right, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. So you held them up. I held them up. I didn't hear that. Okay, we'll get back to the agenda. At this time, we'll go into personnel items, agenda items 1 through 7, district substitutes, staff termination, staff retirements, staff resignations, staff appointments, additional MS extracurricular proctors, chaperones for 2017 and 18, and 2018 Rosa Park Summer Camp salaries. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Before we take a vote, I just want to wish the 3 retirements, Ms. Kathy Carlin, Ms. Fran Kenny, and Aseta Catalano. Ms. Carlin was here for the past 10 years. Ms. Kenny has been here for 12. And Ms. Catalano has been here for 20 years. And I wish them, the board wishes them all the best in the future for a healthy retirement.
Mr. President, I need to abstain on number 6.
How much?
I need, on number 6, abstain.
Okay. You have to talk in it because
I hear what you do.
thank you.
Number 6.
Okay, roll call please.
Vice President Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Cancino,
Yes.
Mr. Girton, Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Mr. Weingang,
Yes.
Ms. Powers, Mr. Sekou,
Yes.
Mr. Signorella,
Yes.
President Harms.
Yes.
On roll call, motion carries.
Next, we move on to education, 8 through 11, education programs, educational trip requests, harassment, intimidation, bullying incidents, and 2018-2019 school calendar adoption. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, either one of you want to make a second?
I'll take it.
Mr. Sekou, second. Mr. Signorella, make a motion. All in favor?
Mr. Hunt, if I
Yes,
may-
I'm sorry.
If I may make a statement?
Yes.
Before we go all in favor, I just wanted to, first of all, discuss at number 11 the school calendar adoption. And first of all, Ms. Cosmo, I thank you for coming on your day off to voice your opinion, and I value it, and I thank you for your time And I just wanted to say that when I was appointed to the board 8 years ago and subsequently elected or re-elected, whatever, my purpose as a volunteer on the Board of Education was to improve student achievement. That's all of our purpose, that's our charge, because the citizens have elected us to do that. And I wish I could wave a magic wand and make everyone happy. And being in the public eye, being in public, sometimes that you get close, but sometimes you may miss the mark. With that in mind about improving student achievement, every decision I make on this board that I've made in the past 8 years, and I'll continue to make for the next 3 years, is that I want to have the most optimal learning environment for our children. And in order to achieve that, one of my moral compasses is to have the most uninterrupted learning time possible. And the more continuous learning time we have, the more the children have time on task, the better it is for them, it's for our children and for our district and for our town. And you know, we did meet as a town committee. We did hear a lot of opinions, as Oslo was correct, with those opinions that we had. And it was, you know, I talked about it, it was a tough decision. And when it was calendar, just keeping in mind that I wanted to have the children have the most uninterrupted learning time was my guide as I presented this calendar to Mr. Hans and also Mr. Carrito, and we came up with this draft. So I thank you for your opinion, and some of your ideas going forward we can consider as a board, and that is my statement. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is business. Agenda items 12 through 16. 12, monthly certifications. 13, approval of transfers. 14, secretary treasurer's report. 15, use of buildings and grounds. 16, approval of bills. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Second. Any comments? Anything?
Second was Mr. Sekou.
No, is there anyone?
Thank you very much.
Okay. We have to use the mic. Okay, thank you. There's no comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we'll go into continuing business. Any continuing business? Hearing none, any new business?
Mr. President, I have one item of new business.
Sure.
The Girl Scouts of Roselle Park are putting on a pancake breakfast on Saturday, March 10th, from 9 in the morning until 12 noon. If any member of the public or the board is a fan of pancakes, you may want to talk to a Girl Scout. Tickets are only $5, but must be purchased in advance. Speaking also to members of the board who are, have a mind for public service, they are in need of cooks to help with the preparation. So if you can flip a pancake, please talk to Sonia Line Gang, or I have a direct line. You can tell me, and I can talk to her.
You don't want me cooking. Thank you. Any other new business? Okay, hearing none. At this time, I'll open up the second public portion. If anyone wishing to come forward and speak on anything, please come and state your name and address, please.
Brian Downey, 142 East Webster Avenue. Mr. Guerrero, I saw that you did mention the flu. I just wanted to bring it to the board's attention that possibly you guys could have a conversation in regards to extending the length of time students have to stay out being fever-free. I'm sure everybody has seen what happened in Elizabeth this past week, tragic event, and it seems that they've just implemented the 48-hour rule. I would just like you guys to consider that. Our schools during the winter time are a petri dish and a half, and it would be great to kind of eliminate as much contamination as possible, and I think moving to a 48-hour window would be the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good idea. Anyone else?
Janine Goodes, 152 Berwyn Street. I just have a question. The STEAM wing, is it going to be a new wing? Or we're going to take classes?
We shouldn't be using that. It's going to be one section where the wood shop is, there will be classrooms. Okay, and that's going to be, all the classrooms going to combine. Okay, so that's why they call it a wing.
My question was, when we did the facilities last year, 2 years ago, I remember there was some talk about we didn't have enough classroom space. So when I seen that we were going to take some classrooms and make it this, is that going to be less?
We're reinventing.
It's more a renovation of 3 existing classrooms into 3 new classrooms that are designed for modern technology and needs. And
So no more wood shop?
no.
There's still? Okay.
It'll still be there,
There
yes.
is a wood shop, but it's going to have computers in there for the CAD drawing. It's going to take in STEAM, science,
Technology.
math, as you go on. The other thing is it opens classrooms on the upper floor and across the hall to put in, hopefully you can get I'm going to call it a weightlifting room, okay, so our students have an opportunity instead of going up on top there, that we have it over there, and also down the road, TV 34 back again. So these are things, it's opening up the classrooms up to do this thing here, we're combining. I think people are going to be very well pleased after it gets done.
Thank you.
And Mr. Harms, on that point, thank you for this. And also, all high school students will be exposed to that link.
Yes, at least, well, 89 to 90% are going to be, but it's not going to be every year, but it'll give them an opportunity to see what it's like, and it might actually turn somebody on for the arts or something in there. So it's a benefit to our children, and I can't keep on saying it more, because it is. It's going to be a benefit to our children.
And also, Mr. Harms, and one thing too is, all of that is created thanks to the wonderful efforts of Ms. Ms. Resney and Mr. Chin and Mr. Seibert as well. And all the children and the students, they've created it, they've designed it, so they can come back with their children someday and say, look what we did. And also, it's going to be a great place for the middle schools to come to take a quick visit, see what's in store for them ahead.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Hearing no one. I think we have a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out on your day off.
And the next meeting.
Wow.
Next meeting.
Oh,